Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company, fiber internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis, lawmg.com. The IU School of Education, preparing teachers, scholars, and administrators to improve teaching in Indiana and around the world. education.indiana.edu. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu, and by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Getting kids to show up to school can be tough, and districts say it's often a sign of deeper problems.
It was elementary. It was elementary kids, little ones. So that lets you know it was a parent problem.
Ahead, we take you to a school that's using a truancy court not to punish kids, but to learn how they can help families get their kids to school. Could part of a southern Indiana forest be eligible for dark skies designation?
Dark skies are again, they're really rare in the Midwest and in the eastern United States because of our population densities and how much light pollution is out there.
Ahead, a visit to the forest to see how researchers are working to measure light pollution. And we look back 100 years to celebrate the first female Marine, a Hoosier named Opha Mae Johnson. These stories, plus the latest news headlines from across the state, right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Construction on I-69 from Bloomington to Martinsville is several weeks behind schedule. All interstate lanes were supposed to open at the end of this month, although some work on landscaping and medians would continue. There's no firm date now for when Section 5 of I-69 will reach substantial completion. The city says drainage, lighting, fencing, landscaping, and shoulder improvements will continue through the end of the year. That's more than 2 years behind schedule.
The road won't be up to speed. We don't know when it will be up to speed. There's going to be a lot of lane work still to be done, a lot of painting and guardrails and other things that have to be done.
2nd and 3rd Street Bridge traffic disruptions will also continue until mid-October as workers finish concrete medians and install traffic signals. Another project could affect IU football game traffic. State officials are moving up a ramp repair project at State Road 46 and 37 that was scheduled for next year. Ramp construction could limit traffic to a single lane for 8 weeks starting in mid-September. INDOT says it will coordinate with IU athletics during home football weekends to help reduce traffic backups. An increasing number of Indiana school districts are turning to truancy courts to address issues with chronic absences. Just this week, Porter County officials approved a measure that will allow Portage Township schools to move forward with plans for such a program. But as Barbara Brozier reports, the focus isn't on punishing students.
As students walk to class every day, they're carrying more than just backpacks. Between meeting graduation requirements and taking multiple state tests, they're shouldering a lot of pressure.
I look at what kids are expected to do today compared to when I was their age, and the expectations are so different.
Those heightened expectations make showing up to class especially important. But Merrillville schools notice some students consistently weren't.
And as the years go by, what we expect from students in terms of their education continues to climb. So when they are absent or tardy, and when those tardies add up, that's a significant amount of instruction that they don't get.
A 2012 study found that students who miss 10 or more days of school perform at lower levels on the state's standardized exam, the I-STEP. So the district started what's called the Truancy Court to try and address the issue. When a student racks up 3 unexcused absences, a letter goes home to the family, letting them know the school district is concerned and they could receive an ordinance violation if it continues. When a student racks up 9 unexcused absences, they get a ticket that refers the family to Judge Gina Jones's Truancy Court.
And when they come see me, we have an option of whether they can either do community service and pay a fine and cost, or we kind of look deeper into the family to see if there's something that we could do to help them, whether it is tutoring or whether there's some parenting skills that need to be taught.
The idea behind the court isn't to discipline children for not showing up, but to figure out what's causing the behavior and how the school district can help. There are cases where Jones does refer kids to a juvenile detention center, but she says that's rare.
I wanted to be that layer in between the school and the juvenile justice system, because I think a lot of times these cases can tend to go a little bit faster and further, where the child ends up in the juvenile justice system.
The court is in its third year, and Jones says she sees at least 30 truancy cases a month. Another nearby school district plans to implement a similar program during the upcoming school year. The attendance rate at Portage Township schools fluctuates between 93 and 96%, which is in line with the state average. While the superintendent says that indicates truancy isn't a significant problem, it still needs to be addressed.
What we have decided is that truancy, no matter the size of that problem, that it is a significant problem depending on any situation, whether we've got a truancy issue for a specific family or a truancy here or there. For us, it is a big deal regardless.
The school district already does some outreach with families when there are issues with absences, but the superintendent says she hopes establishing a court will increase the district's options and formalize the process. She says oftentimes kids aren't just skipping school because they don't want to go.
For instance, students who do not have an alarm clock. So they have purchased alarm clocks for students. Moms who wake their kids up before they go to work, wake them up at 5:30, say, okay, get up, make sure you feed breakfast, get your brother some breakfast, and everybody get on the bus. And then when she's at work after a couple of hours, gets a call that they're not at school.
The Truancy Court is a partnership between the district, city, and county. The City Council passed a chronic absenteeism ordinance earlier this year that, among other things, gives local police the power to pick up students and take them to school if they aren't there.
We're looking at how we provide resources and how we combine those resources between the city, the schools, and the township to make sure that we can pool just a myriad of different opportunities for families to grow strong families for the entire community and make sure that our kids get their education.
Portage leaders are hopeful the court will make a difference. Maryville school leaders say it's worked for them, but they want to have at least 5 years of data before determining just how much of an impact the court's had.
I believe that when children know that you care, when they know that your community care, and that they're going to hold you accountable, and they're also going to provide you with support and let you know when you do well, then that's the best environment that we can provide for a kid.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Barbara Brozier.
Senator Joe Donnelly met with Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh this week. Republicans in the Senate and across Indiana are urging Donnelly to approve Kavanaugh's nomination, but that could hurt the Democrat with voters in his own party. Brandon Smith joins us from Indianapolis to discuss Donnelly's dilemma. Brandon, thanks for joining us. Now, you've been reporting on this. Can you explain a little bit the tough political situation that this nomination puts Donnelly in just ahead of the midterm elections?
Right. Well, this could honestly be the toughest vote that Donnelly has faced in his nearly 6 years in the Senate. If he votes for Kavanaugh, he risks alienating his base and depressing turnout among Democrats, which he can't afford to have happen. But if he votes against Kavanaugh, he risks upsetting Republicans, who, of course, make up a majority in this state. And that vote would come less than 2 months before the election, so it would be fresh in people's minds.
Now, Brandon, Donnelly supported Trump's last nominee, Neil Gorsuch. So is the Kavanaugh nomination any different?
It is, partly because of its proximity to the election, but also there's a lot more kind of fighting over this nomination. Gorsuch, considered a far-right conservative, was replacing a far-right conservative in Antonin Scalia, but Kavanaugh, considered a far-right conservative, would be replacing someone a little more moderate in Justice Anthony Kennedy. And there's a lot of people who think Kavanaugh will be the deciding vote on a number of issues, including and perhaps most especially abortion.
And Brandon, one more question. Is there any indication when Donnelly might make a decision here?
It won't be soon. He said that he won't decide until at least after Kavanaugh's nomination hearings, which won't start until at least next month.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Now, for headlines, we go over to Barbara Brozier, who has the latest on this week's top stories.
Thanks, Joe. A 20-year-old man from Cloverdale, Indiana, is facing charges for spray painting Nazi graffiti at a Carmel synagogue last month. Local and federal investigators received numerous tips about the crime, which led them to Nolan Brewer. They found physical evidence to link him to the vandalism.
Inside his car, they found the cans of spray paint. They also found items consistent with the bird markings on the ground and items that suggest that Brewer may have intended to do more damage than he actually did.
Police also arrested a co-conspirator who remains in custody. Minkler says the investigation is ongoing and gave no details about that suspect except to say the person is a juvenile. The charges against Brewer carry a penalty of up to 10 years in federal prison. Indiana remains one of only 5 states without a hate crimes law. Following the synagogue vandalism, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb declared the need for a hate crimes bill in the state. Paoli Community Schools will announce a new superintendent on Monday. The board approved the contract this week. The position calls for working 260 days during each school year with an annual salary of $108,000. Another candidate accepted the position earlier this year, but ended up not coming to Paoli. The board didn't provide any further details. Vigo County is raising its local income tax starting next year by 0.75%. The money will cover public safety needs and help fund a new $66 million county jail. The county commissioners approved the increase this week, despite some citizens' concerns.
But I felt like in the best interest of striking that balance, that we could have adopted a lesser number. And when the amendment failed and this became the other option, I was not comfortable with supporting it.
Now that the county has identified a funding source, they will work to draft construction plans and put the project out to bid. Officials are considering a site off of State Road 63. The county is facing a federal lawsuit because of conditions at the current jail. The suit claims the jail violates inmates' constitutional rights, in part because it's overcrowded. The Indiana Center for Recovery is scrapping plans to open a facility in Greencastle. Residents voiced their opposition to the proposed detox facility during a number of public meetings. The mayor says he got a letter this week letting him know that the center was withdrawing its plans. The Indiana Center for Recovery operates another facility in Bloomington. A task force designed to study the state's water systems is trying to plan for future drinking and wastewater needs. At the first Indiana Water Summit, much of this discussion focused on how to protect the state's resources in a changing climate. Indiana uses most of its groundwater for public water supplies, like drinking water, but irrigating crops is increasing like never before.
This can lead to reduction in power capacity, such as what happened during the 2012 drought when some of our rivers in Indiana were too warm to use that water for cooling towers.
Task force members say creating the comprehensive water plan will likely take years. Efforts to designate the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore as the state's first national park could be dead. The Trump administration opposes the idea. In a Senate subcommittee meeting this week, the National Park Service acting director said the agency wants to focus on sites with a variety of resources in places that encompass large areas of land or water. Senators Todd Young and Joe Donnelly have both championed the designation. A student-run campaign is leading an effort in Brown County to build a new custom-designed skate park. As Alex Eady reports, the idea started with a teen who saw a need for a safe space for skaters like himself.
Isaiah Smith has been skateboarding since he was 10 years old. He loves to practice new tricks and different maneuvers, but it's not easy to find a place to skate that's both safe and legal.
It's really not easy when you get in trouble for doing the thing that you don't, it's just a sport, and it's just something that you've always just had a passion for, and there's really no reason to get in trouble for it.
Isaiah's mom, Colleen, supports his passion. She says it helps him stay active, and it's taught him to take on new challenges. But there's only one street in Nashville where skateboarding is legal, and you can't do it on any school property. So Colleen has to drive Isaiah to the nearest skate park, which is about an hour from their home.
Isaiah has been asking me to build a skate park for years, and I just kind of said, I'll just drive you to Bloomington. But then a couple of years ago, he came to me and he said, I want to build a skate park.
With the help of the Brown County Enrichment for Teens Association, Isaiah is leading the effort to raise $50,000 to build a new teen recreation park in Nashville. The group is nearly halfway to its goal. There have been lots of individual donations, and last month they got a huge boost from the Tony Hawk Foundation. The skaters' charitable group pledged $5,000. Colleen says it feels like the whole community is rallying together.
We were at the fair last week and even last year, and people would come up to us and say, we've been asking for this for years.
Plans for the street-style skate park include a mini ramp, a Gaga dodgeball pit, as well as picnic tables and tire swings. The location is slated for Deer Run Park in Nashville. For now, parents like Colleen are just hoping to keep their kids safe until they can have a place to call their own.
Now there's really no place except county roads to skateboard that's legal, and the county roads are just too dangerous. So it's important to have a safe place for them.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Alex Eady.
The money raised from the campaign will allow Kids on Wheels to construct a 5,500 square foot skate park designed by Isaiah and his mother Colleen. If the campaign can reach its $50,000 goal by September 22nd, the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority will award the campaign a matching grant. That is so tough, Joe. Skateboarding is so popular, but you see so many signs up throughout towns that say no skateboarding.
Well, and we'll see another one at Bloomington Switchyard Park in fall of 2019 as well.
Yes.
Thanks, Barbara. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk, we travel to a southern Indiana forest where researchers are building technology to study light pollution. What's behind the project coming up? And in our History Through Headlines segment, we look back to 100 years ago to meet a Hoosier and the first woman to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
The WTIU WFIU news team connects Indiana to the world. We bring you the top news of the day on radio, TV, and online. We round up the stories that have people talking each week and dig deep into the issues that affect your community the most. The WTIU WFIU news team is where you are and telling your story.
$10,000.
15? 15, you think?
20, 21,000?
600.
20. 18.5.
24.
It's at least 40.
Look at it.
4,500,000.
650.
20.
650.
This textile would be worth about $500,000.
$500,000?
No way.
I knew it. It's just a blanket.
Laying on the back of a chair. Well, sir, you have a national treasure.
Wow.
A national treasure. Congratulations.
I can't believe this.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. There are only a handful of locations east of the Mississippi that qualify for dark sky designation. Now this means they have world-class views of nighttime stars and very little light pollution. Getting the designation can be a major draw for visitors and could be an economic boon to the local economy. Sections of the Hoosier National Forest could qualify as one of those places. Tyler Lake heads into the field with some engineers to find out.
So let's go back across the dam and we'll just start shooting west. And
Bryce Heimbaugh and David Gutch are running around the Hoosier National Forest holding up little electronic devices. Their efforts are part of a high-tech approach to get an answer to a simple question. How dark is it in the Hoosier National Forest?
In the Midwest and the eastern United States, truly dark skies are a really rare asset anymore because there's so many more people than there are in, say, the western United States.
Mike Chavez and other folks at the Hoosier National Forest reached out to Indiana University for help to try and achieve dark sky status for the Hoosier National Forest. To gain the designation, The area needs to be monitored regularly with light monitors to determine the average amount of light pollution. In the past, this has been done manually with people heading out into the woods at night, sensors in hand, to gather data. But Heimbaugh has a better idea.
So something like this. This is a unihedron, kind of the standard sort of tool. And we looked at this and said, well, maybe we can build a device that could take these readings on an ongoing basis. We just leave the sensors out in the field.
He and his team are putting light sensors out in the Hoosier National Forest. They're rigging the sensors with technology that can beam a signal back to a device that puts all that information on a server that the Forest Service can access by simply going to a website. If they can work out all the kinks, the Forest Service will essentially have to do nothing to get the data needed for dark skies designation.
So in this case, the Hoosier National Forest, it requires no interaction on their part to get this data. What they see is the data is just available to them.
But first, they have to work out those kinks.
You want to go up to the top and just see if you get a signal.
To remotely collect the signals from the light sensors, they're using equipment that wasn't necessarily intended for a dense forest.
So it's supposed to be able to work for about 5 miles, but it was kind of designed for urban areas.
Much of the technology was meant to be part of what's called the Internet of Things. Think of things like a smart fridge or even a Fitbit.
And so these things are made by the millions. They're widely available and they're very inexpensive.
That's made doing research a lot cheaper. But it can present problems. The devices Heimbaugh is using are supposed to send a signal about 5 miles. But right now, they're going less than a mile.
And so what we're trying to understand is that because of the foliage that's out, because of the leaves? Is it because we don't have a clear line of sight and we may need to make sure that this access point is up higher?
I'd say we may be done for today.
Gutsch says he enjoys this kind of troubleshooting. He graduated last year, but he wasn't ready to quit working on this project.
So I wanted to stick around with Bryce so that I can continue learning about how those systems work, so I can just have a better, I guess, more well-rounded understanding of how that technology works, so I can build it better on my own.
With real deadlines, real constraints, and really disappointed clients if the product doesn't measure up, Heimbaugh says this sort of hands-on work is invaluable to students who want to become engineers. But it's also valuable to the people they work with. Chavez says the partnership with Heimbaugh is the only way they could have gathered the data needed for dark sky designation.
You know, technologically, it might be feasible to send people out to gather that kind of data, but just practically, it would never happen for all sorts of reasons.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Tyler Lake.
They hope to get the technology up and working soon enough to be taking measurements this fall. Heimbaugh says if they don't, they have a foolproof backup technology using Bluetooth to get the data from the light sensors. But that will mean a lot more trekking through the woods for him and his students. And now we take a look back at what was making the news in our History Through Headlines segment. It was August 13th, 1918. Woodrow Wilson was president. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Chicago Cubs 4-2 in the World Series. The original Dixieland Jazz Band rounded out the top 40 with Tiger Rag. And the first woman to enlist in the U.S. Marines hailed from Indiana. The headline reads, First Woman in Marine Corps. Opha Mae Johnson was born in Kokomo, Indiana. There are few details about her childhood here, but on August 13th, 1918, she gained national attention when she was offered and took the opportunity to become the first woman to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps. Johnson's example inspired more than 300 women to join the Marine Corps during World War I. 100 years later, the city where she was born celebrated her legacy.
I went to officer candidate school in '66. It was very unusual. We're only 1% female in the Marine Corps at that time. So we stand on the shoulders of very tall, strong women who went before us.
Just 3 months after Johnson's enlistment, the Great War ended, but her legacy was written.
Those women that are entering the military, they can see that any obstacle can be overcome. Men and women are equal in our jobs, and women can carry just as much as men.
Johnson died in 1955. She's buried in an unmarked grave at Washington, D.C.'s Rock Creek Cemetery. The Women Marines Association is raising funds to place a marker at her burial site. Evansville plans to move a restored World War II Navy ship to a prominent location along the Ohio River. The LST Troop landing ship has been docked upriver from the city since 2005. Organizers say they expect the ship's 10,000 annual visitors will double with its new location downtown. The ship took part in the 1944 D-Day landings in France. And as many as 70,000 people are expected to visit Terre Haute this weekend for an air show. The show Saturday and Sunday at Terre Haute Regional Airport will feature the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, the Air Force's F-22 Raptor, and the Tora Pearl Harbor Reenactment Group. Organizers say visitors are coming from across the country. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company, fiber internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis, lawmg.com. The IU School of Education, preparing teachers, scholars, and administrators to improve teaching in Indiana and around the world. education.indiana.edu. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.